Hello, everybody, and welcome to another amazing episode of Unstoppable Success. I am your host, Jaclyn Strominger, and on this podcast, we hear from amazing leaders, their influence, what they've done to have unstoppable success. They share their tips, their tricks, their strategies. And today, I am so excited to share Harry is in the house. So, Harry Sardinas, and let me tell you a little bit about Harry. First of all, he's a business growth strategist, empowerment, leadership, and business coach, and he is in London. He is a true super connector. He's an influencer with, oh my God, I was like 280,000 followers. He's the founder of Speakers Are Leaders. It's public speaking, branding, and marketing workshop. He's a podcast host, Unstoppable Success. I can tell you lots of different things, but I want you to hear it from Harry himself. So welcome, Harry, to
Thank
Unstoppable.
you. Thank you, Jaclyn, for the invitation. I love your energy and thank you so much for the work you do to help your audience in order to create this magic, which is the unstoppable success. And I think the most important thing that we have to enhance in order to have unstoppable success is your mindset. I think that, and the way that we measure success. A lot of people think that you are successful because you have $1 million in your bank account and because you are a millionaire, right? And the most interesting concept is how you have this millionaire lifestyle, which is not necessary. You need to have that million in your bank account. So, what makes you happy and how you want to define success? What is actually means to you? And on the pursuit of happiness, success, it will be measured by the difference that you can make in other people's life. I think that if when you change someone's life, when you transform someone's life, and as an example, this podcast, amazing podcast that you do, just link, right? The audience listening to it, and it's something that have been said here can make a difference in their life. That's gonna give us so much fulfillment, so much happiness that you can pay in a different currency, which is love, appreciation, and fulfillment. So, how we define success is important because sometimes we take the wrong parameters. So, for me, success is live your life on your terms
Ah,
and do what you love, and from there you can build something amazing, something unstoppable. Success means to be able to don't have to prove anything to anybody. If you are on the space that you rather than be in this rat race, trying to grow this business, how to make millions, how to make billions, how to achieve this and that, because you want to prove that you're good, and so you people can love you because you prove that you're good. The good news is that you're already perfect and complete and amazing as you are, and you don't have to prove anything to anybody. You
right,
just need to follow your heart and do what you love. And of
right.
course, one of the elements of live your life on your terms is eventually you need to build a business or become an investor so you can create that finance that will give you freedom to do what you love and to, as more, the, I have a podcast previously, and it was a guy that was telling me, uh, Harry, I love to help people. And we were discussing, hey, if you really want to help a lot of people, you have to become really wealthy so you can help a lot of people with it, right? So it's mainly just link how we define success and what
Yeah.
it really means to the person.
So there's a few things that you said that I think are so important. First of all, Harry, you said it's like doing what you love, right? And even you said, in actuality, you don't need to have a ton of money to really help other people. You have to have the passion. You have to have a voice, right? So, I mean, I I am truly passionate about helping people be better leaders, be successful, truly giving them those tips. And something that you said, so how do you think, or why do you think people get caught up in the doing what they love part? Because
Well,
not everybody does, right?
there are some fundamentals, and out of the 500 millionaires that we interview in our podcast, there are people that show up and told me, Harry, I'll buy and expand loads of businesses. I make ton of money, and none of them have been my passion. None of them. I didn't do it because I love it. I did it because the number works. The margins, they were amazing, and I made a ton of money doing this. Say so. Uh, Doing what you love, not necessarily could be the channel. For example, let me give you an example. I love to help people, right? And I love to help entrepreneurs to navigate the challenges of from 0 to 1 million and from 1 to 10 million. This is what I'm passionate about. I love it because when I started my first business, I was alone. I didn't know anybody, and I have a very traumatic experience in my process to making my first million. So I don't want anybody to go through the struggles that I went through. So this is what I'm passionate about, and I love it. And I travel all over the world doing those conferences in Singapore, Dubai, Mexico, Peru, at the Kingdom, US. However, I can tell you that in order to finance the my purpose, okay, my first business was in property, and the income that I made doing this business create the platform and create the foundation for me to start to do what I love. And today I do what I love. Yes, and I also do property also, which is not I'm not passionate about. I'm not love it, but it can give us the finance to actually uh, do and create platforms for you to do what you love. So sometimes you need to find the vehicle around, and let's face it, not all we see over there that say, oh, you need to do your business about what you love. It's a little bit of a stretch, because when it comes to business, there is no it's not enough that you love to do it.
Mm,
You need to have financial sense. You need to have the margin has to be there, the market size has to be there. So it doesn't matter how much you love to do something, if there is no market for it, and your clients are not willing uh, to pay enough to solve the problem that you love about it. It would be an amazing hobby, but will never turn into a business. So we have to figure out. And sometimes you get lucky, and what you love is also an amazing business, because your margins are amazing and you can create wealth and money around that. But you can have it in parallel. I have done it all my life, and having my passion and the other business in parallel, and I think they can coexist very well. One actually support the other one,
right.
and it's amazing.
So let me, so in property and real estate, I'm just going to say, did you ever feel like you were helping people in that business?
Yes, absolutely. When our first business in real estate, it was exactly this. So we were doing landing services in London. So there were a population of students, okay, that they're actually very vulnerable, because nobody wants to rent them because they don't have a job. They're just going to start in the university, and they were coming from abroad, especially from Europe. Okay, and so we have this vulnerable population there that people don't want to give them the accommodation. And I'm thinking to myself, these guys are amazing. They're university students, right? And why nobody wants them? And if they find something that will give me the worst place. So we built the business around it. At some point, we have 177 tenants on the 28 houses. It was a big operation, a lot of young people around. And we managed to give them something decent for them to stay over in US and in UK. And guess what happened? There were no problem whatsoever with rent. No problem. Never, ever, ever. I knew that they don't have income, but I knew that the parents we support them, because they were sending the sons to learn English to London, from Spain, from Italy, from Netherlands, from Germany, from everywhere. So, and the issue was that about helping them. Imagine if you're doing landing services and you give them the room, this is the only phone number they have, yours. So anything, what is the doctor? What is this? What is this? They only call you because they don't know anybody in the country. So yeah, we have to little by little we have to create some welcoming packs and give them the phone numbers and where is everything is so they adapt a little bit before because we find out that we didn't see this coming.
Right. But
That the yeah,
see,
go
I
ahead.
think, yeah, so I actually think though, even though it may not have been your absolute ultimate passion, you love to help people. So that's where it came from. It came from your heart, right? It came from your heart wanting to help people. And now you get to take that heart and do it on a bigger scale. And that business
100%.
can, right? That business can fuel it. It's it's amazing though, like, and you probably have seen this when people get into a field or a career that they're just not, they don't like going to their job.
Mhm.
So,
Mm.
what do
Yeah, I
you
can
think?
say you're right, Jocelyn. You're right that the what happened with the property thing is that I'm not able to help so many people, only 177 tenants. And if I want to help more people, I need to have hundreds and hundreds and thousands of houses, which is a huge operation.
Right.
Whether with the workshop speakers and leaders is completely different because we literally have been in front of thousands and thousands of people all over the world. You feel like you're a rock star. You know, you arrive there, they pick you up, you go to a hotel, and then you have hundreds and thousands of people waiting for you in different, when we do in Peru, for example, in Mexico, you go through the country, right? And you speak with a lot of people and on that connection is amazing, especially when you speak with leaders and when you do some talks that they are charity, or especially when I go to Latin America, I love to, I ask always to a promoter to arrange some talks that they are for charity, just for the people, which is sometimes they're not happy about it because they don't make any money out of it. But we always ask them, please. And those talks that we do as a charity, as for the organizations, they are the most amazing, the biggest breakthrough. I remember one that we did in Peru. They, we was 500 women, and they call it the women of the glass of milk. So 10 out that these women, they're community leaders, and any kid that doesn't have resources to drink a glass of milk, they, as a community leader, they go to the place, they collect the baking powder, and they create the glass of milk, and they give it to the kids. So imagine how you have an audience with 500 women community leaders like this. So it was so the experience that we have out of this audience and how we train them and we talk to them. And I remember when we finished, we couldn't even move because we were surrounded by all these women, and they were so grateful and so that we came from London to talk to them, right? And
Right.
I'm thinking, wow, they are grateful for us to come and talk to them, and I'm more grateful for the love and the appreciation that they are showing us,
Right.
right? So, and a room full of leaders. When you talk in front of a room full of leaders, the energy change, the vibration change,
They're like,
and these
whoo.
women, yeah, they're making a difference every single day. So their energy is amazing. So sometimes you go there and you get something back from the audience that is priceless, that you cannot count with money. Is that fulfillment? Is that happiness that we're talking about at the beginning?
Right.
So mhm.
So now I want to ask you, so, as you said, you made from, zero to like that first million. What was it? What do you think that it was for you that helped you have the push to keep working to get to that first? Big
It
jump.
was challenge. It was a big challenge. Like I said, it was a traumatic experience because when we are entrepreneurs and we don't know what we're doing, most of the entrepreneurs, when you hear the stories, they don't become entrepreneurs. They become entrepreneurs by accident, right? So in my case, the rent was too expensive in London. I was working as a bartender, making like around £1,000, and then when every month the expense come, and I spent £650 in rent, so it was a lot of money. So I'm left with nothing. So I'm thinking, if I don't solve this rent problem, that I'm working and paying, working and paying, working and paying. So parallel with that to develop these landing services, which at the beginning removed that overhead for me because I was renting the room individually. I was enough capital to uh, for me to don't pay the rent, and after we pay few houses, I didn't. It's also become a profitable. However, when you become an entrepreneur like me by accident, you don't know what you're doing, and you don't know anybody as an entrepreneur. You first you stumble in the wrong perception that you think because you never make any money by yourself, and as soon as you make some money, you think that you're a big deal and you're a big boss, and everybody had to do what you say. And I got it so wrong the first 2 years like that, right? So without knowing, you build that ego, that persona that the business is you and it's all about you. And after 2 years, I'm exhausted. I'm so tired because all the clients want to speak with me, all the team want to speak with me, and I'm thinking, when I'm gonna sleep? So by accident, again, I surrounded to that big ego person that I built. Yeah, I remember they were even going for a drink without me. The thing that was my biggest nightmare. And I saw them and said, "Oh, you went to the pub without me? That's ridiculous." I'm thinking, that's how bad I am that they even let me out to go out. This kind of happen. And without knowing, until I started to really leadership into the organization because I started to tell them, our team, okay, if you have any problem, you can try three solutions and try whatever it works. And like that, I know if it doesn't work, doesn't matter. We try something else. So they start to develop that leadership into the organization, and that's what gave me to the million. I couldn't do it in the step one when I was big ego and everything was about me. But when I surrendered that ego and I turned them into leaders, I remember when I go for a trip, they want me to show me that they can do better without me than with me. They are all let's show him that we can do better uh, without him. And that vibe, the whole organization, they become a great leaders. They were better than me anyway. So, but now I give them a space. I start I allow them to be themselves. And one day I arrived to the office and they told me, Harry, go home. We don't need you here anymore. We're gonna see you once a month to tell you what we're doing with the company. Stay there, try the work if you want. It was amazing.
Right.
So again, we are in business. We want at the beginning, we think, oh, we want to make 1 million. I'm going to do this property thing. I'm going to make ton of money. But if in that process you don't surrender that ego and you allow your team to become leaders and to develop leadership into organization and give them the space, the trust of the framework and create the framework so they can expand, you're going to end up doing the whole job all yourself, and it's going to be very difficult, almost impossible that you make 1 million like this.
It's so important that you say that because it's so true because you went from working in the business to working on the business, right? And so having that leadership and letting your team flourish, right? It's it it they bought into the business. They wanted to see it flourish, and that's what you want. You want your teams to want to do better. You want the teams to want
100%.
to show you, right? To show you, oh, you want them to say, "Oh, let's show him how awesome we are." Right? And that's
And I
like,
was super happy about it. I was telling everybody, you won't believe how great they are, right? So It's not about you. At the beginning, you see, you don't know what you're doing. So you think that you have to develop that character, that you're the big boss and everybody has to do what you say. And what this creates a toxic culture into the organization. You are exhausted, you're tired because you're doing everything. And they are the reflection of you. So they start to underperform, and then you attract wrong people to the organization also because you in that energy,
Right.
this is what you attract. But if you're able to shift it and make them the protagonists, Warren Buffett, when you said when several times they have been asking what is the key of your success, he always says thanks to my team. Without them, I won't be able to be what I am.
Right.
So it's never about you. It's all about them. And the faster that you get clarity in this, the faster you're gonna get to the first million and more.
It's so true. I was thinking about this the other day because it's true. Was asked when a person says, if you ask a person, who helped you get to where you are, and if they say it was just me, you most want to take your hand and slap them across the face because it's never just you, right? Like, you know,
If you see successful people never talk like this.
right,
The people that is really wealthy, that they are successful. That's what you know that they are really successful. It's for the way they talk, for the way that they really are grateful for the people working with them, because you have to think that they wake up every day. And sometimes I'm thinking this, right? Wow, these people are waking up every day to contribute to my project, to the idea. So the least you have to be grateful and
right,
and to treat them well. So uh, and that it comes to leadership. It's very easy to create a product, sell it, and make a profit. But and this is can make you like a tiny entrepreneur that can make a living, or you can have a very good life at business. But if you want to grow an organization and you want to expand it, you have to train yourself into lead. The other question that everybody's asking me all the time is, uh, Harry, I want to attract leaders to my organizations. And I always telling them there is no shortcut. In order to attract leaders to your organization, you have to become a leader yourself. There
right.
is no other way around. There's no shortcut. That's what I'm here, by the way, because you're amazing and your podcast is amazing, and I love the topic. And leader attract leaders. This is how this dynamic work.
Well, it's so true. It's that like-minded or people that, I've said it before, our energy attracts like energy, or you could say your vibe is that attract a tribe. And the energy that you put out is so important. So, one of the things that I'm curious is, now you've had great success. What made you start the speakers, are leaders?
Speakers and leaders, I think it's all started because my partner she has a great fear of public speaking. I will get her to a conference, and of course, if you're in a conference and the speaker asks a question, I used to raise my hand and say, "My name is Harry. I'm the founder of this company, and this is what I do, and this is my question." So I got a free publicity of their own audience. So I was telling to a partner, lady, look, uh, this is a great space for free publicity. You should do it. And I remember trying to raise the hand, and she was scared. And it turns out that the fear of public speaking is the biggest fear that human being can have, and everybody have it because the reason is very simple. When you're a kid, your parents go and take you, hey, don't talk to strangers. So speaking with the strangers is wrong. And of course, after you go to the school and the teacher will tell you the same thing. Hey, don't speak with strangers. Just speak with the people in the class. Yeah. Uh, and then you are in business. All you have to do is speak with the strangers. And if you're speaking in public, you have to speak in front of hundreds of thousands of strangers. So it goes. You don't even know that the fear is there, but it's definitely in your unconscious mind, and it takes a process to uh, help the people to overcome that fear. We have reached over 1 million people in COVID and trained over 10,000 people all over the world how to not only to overcome that fear, but also uh, to speak up and to share the message, whatever it is. And it doesn't matter if it's in your community, in front of 10 parents or 10 people or hundreds of thousands, but at least you find your voice. And turns out that that fear of public speaking is showing up everywhere. It's showing up in your relationship. It's showing up at work. It's showing up in your bank account. It's showing up everywhere. So when that fear is gone, a new form of you uh, appears, and this new version of you is more powerful, more confident, and more focused in order to achieve the goals. We have students graduated that they've been working, and let's say, for example, they sell yachts, and then they go to a course, to a workshop Saturday and Sunday, and one day they're calling me, look, I sold 6 yachts. I'm like, what? You haven't sold anything in the last year? No, but today I made a phone call. I told the guy, I said, Lee, if you buy it, or I'm taking them away from you, I'm the person for it. So things like that.
Right.
The energy keep growing and growing, and the people find the power. I think the biggest problem that we have in society is people live in fear. People live without that power, that inner power that they have, and stop them to achieve their goals. And then as a result, people are unhappy. It's a shame.
It's so interesting that you talk about this. So, I find it fascinating because I think it correlates like even when you get to, high school or in middle school, some kids are just afraid to raise their hand. They're afraid to speak up. And I almost think that this is something that we should be bringing to everybody at every age, right?
100%. Even in the University of Law, I remember our Toastmaster club in London.
Yeah.
We were doing it in the University of Law because there is no public speaking class in the University of Law, and they're supposed to persuade. They're supposed to speak and persuade, and there is not in the manual of the lawyers. I think it's a topic that, because everybody's scared, everybody's even too scared to talk about it. Yeah, so all we keep it silent, and people don't even know that the fear is there in the first place. I remember in my university, it was the same thing. Like, I remember I didn't like to do the studies or the homework and everything, but every week we had to present. And I remember from my team in the university, I was the presenter. Said, Lord, it's easier to present than do the whole job. So there were 6 people in my team that they would work for a week in that lab results and creating all the graph and everything. And they prefer to do all that to face the crowd for 10 minutes. That was the presentation. And I think that was very easy because I didn't have to stay the whole week presenting. So 15 minutes before, 10 minutes, 20 minutes before the presentation, they will give me all the reports. Harry, this is the presentation. This is what you have to say. These are the results and everything. You presented in front of the teachers and the audience. So I think that was the starting of my speaking career at the
Okay.
university to avoid to do the work. You know what I mean? So,
That's
but it's
really
a skill.
funny. Right.
The more you practice, the better you become. So you keep practicing and practicing. And that's what we want to do. The podcasting is the same thing, right? If you see my first podcast, you cry. It was a total disaster. I mean, the first 100. I'm still working on the case. You see, it's a skill. The more you practice, the better you become. You just have to embrace it and make sure you're not perfect. I remember in London, every time we have audiences, sometimes 1,000 people there. Also. And sometimes we have another speaker that is an amazing public speaker, British, very good looking, skinny, very, right? And the guy said, who wants me to teach you how to speak? And then, of course, a lot of people go there. Then I come in after and I say, okay, I'm Harry, and I also can teach you how to speak, how to become the fear of public speaking. Who want, who want me to teach you? And then a lot of people go and look. And the people that I'm attracted, the people are looking and say, well, you know what? this guy is not perfect. He's bald, chubby, not even good looking. And if he's there, and he's not perfect, I'm not perfect, so I prefer him to teach me rather than someone that speaks English fluently and is flawless because they don't feel identified like this. They identify more than me. So sometimes my problems speaking English. A lot of people tell me, Harry, how come you learn people how to speak in public? You make a lot of grammar mistakes. Well, because I'm imperfect, that I attract them a lot. They feel more
Right.
close to me. And at the end of the day, communication is more than that. It's how you convey your message effectively. In Toastmaster, in the competition that we have in London, I won twice. The area club and the club and the district, something like that, right? And all the judges are British, most of the speakers are British, and I'm winning again and again. How you explain that? So clearly have
But
nothing to do how you speak English. It's how you
present how
convey
you talk.
exactly
Right. It's how,
how you can put the idea
right.
into the audience.
Harry, I think what you're doing is absolutely spectacular, and I'm so glad that you are bringing this to the world because being able to articulate and being able to speak in front of people is so important. And there's so many people that are out there that their success is hindered by the fact that they don't have that comfort of or the ability to get up in front of people to speak. So, how can my listeners connect with you, learn more about what you were doing?
Thank you so much for asking, Jesly. So we have our website, speakersalleader.com, and there you can find resources and you can see where our next workshop is going to be. Is something we do it all over the world, and also you can follow in our uh, podcast Unstoppable,
Mm-hmm.
uh, 5 step how to make your first million. So we talk about our product market fit and how you can start your journey as an entrepreneur. And in my personal website, harrysardinas.com, there is a lot of resources there where people can have for free and to overcome the fear of public speaking. And we also have a small podcast, Speakers and Leaders, with a lot of tips about this specific topic.
I absolutely love it. Listeners, I'm going to put all of Harry's information,
Thank
contact,
you.
all that stuff in the show notes. Please do me a favor, listeners. Connect with Harry right after you
Thank
listen
you.
to this. If you're listening while you're driving, do it after you drive. But if you're listening to it and you are stationary, go connect with Harry right now. And then do me the other favor and please share this podcast with other leaders, listen, and your friends, associates, and business professionals who need to hear Harry's message. He has had unstoppable success. Zero to a billion, and he's just keeps going and he's helping so many people. So share this episode with your friends and family, colleagues, and business associates. And then do me one other favor if you haven't subscribed, do that. And lastly, we just launched a brand new school community called Unstoppable Success.
Wow.
And in that school community, right now it is basically free to anybody who wants to jump in there, but we are putting in our podcast content. We are going to start having inviting our school community to jump into the podcast and actually have Q&A sessions with our podcast guests. We're doing power hours so that you can actually make sales calls with people, social media contacts. We want you to have unstoppable success. So jump into that school community. That link is below. And listeners, I truly appreciate you for listening and helping our podcast keep on growing. And thank you, Harry, for being an amazing
Thanks
guest.
to you. And
Thank you.
everyone, please subscribe to the Slim Podcast. I think that the way to reach success is we always say success live plus, right? And define your own success. That's going to give you happiness. And from that space, you become unstoppable.
You
You will
become
have
unstoppable.
unstoppable success.
I love
Thank
it.
you, Jaclyn.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. All right, listeners,
Bye, everyone.
thank you so much. I'm Jaclyn Strominger, and I want to invite you to join the Unstoppable Success community on School. You can go to Unstoppable Success at school-9143 and join us. In this community, you will get daily tips so that you can be unstoppable, and you'll also connect with other leaders and professionals who are also aiming for their unstoppable success and are there to help you succeed. So join us in the community. We can't wait to see you on School.